Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today we're talking about Mortal Kombat 1. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now I just got done beating the campaign, the new story mode. I've been playing Mortal Kombat since like 1992. When I turned 12 years old, I remember going into this little arcade shop we had like literally right around the corner from where I lived. And they were literally putting this machine in the one day. And so we went back the next day right after school. And my like obsession with Mortal Kombat started right then. The first time, like I walked into this arcade and there was these other kids that were playing it. And I remember like right when I turned the corner, and I looked at it, and I saw Kano ripping the freaking heart out of somebody. I was like, what? The blood just splattering everywhere. I became addicted to that game. We sat there and we played that. We'd get quarters. My friend down the street, his dad would like always give us a whole bunch of quarters and send us off to the arcade. So we would sit there playing Mortal Kombat for freaking hours every single day after school. And then when we finally was able to get it, he had a Sega Genesis. He got it on Sega Genesis. I got it on the Super Nintendo. So I had the Gray Blood, of course. He had like the Real Blood. So we were always over there playing on the Sega and stuff. But I still played it on the Super Nintendo. I still played it a lot. I can't believe it's been 30 freaking years since Mortal Kombat came out. I can't believe that. Like I'm like, wow, man. Like 3/4 of my life playing one IP, just spending time playing this game. There was a time when I was like super into it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like the lore and all of that. But then it started to get like a little bit weird over the years. You know, I was just like, yeah, I mean, it's cool, and it's still Mortal Kombat. My favorite era for Mortal Kombat is when they went with the, you know, like Deadly Alliance and then Mortal Kombat Deception. Those were probably my two favorite Mortal Kombats that were ever made. Those ones were super cool. I really do yearn for the days of going back to 3D Mortal Kombat. I love the different fighting styles. I love I loved how you could like switch in different fighting styles and stuff. But you know, times change. We're back to 2D fighting, and I just experienced the coolest Mortal Kombat story campaign that I think they've ever made. Now, when Ed Boon was talking about this, you know, like during like the previews and all of that, and they were talking about, you know, like how they restarted the timeline and everything, I just thought, oh my gosh, here we go again, Mortal Kombat 9. Here we go again, Mortal Kombat 9. They absolutely freaking nailed this. I think this was, I absolutely think this was freaking credible. Not only does this have the highest production values for like the movies, for the cutscenes, oh my freaking gosh, this was beautiful. Now I did play this on the I did play through this on the Xbox Series X. I probably will play through the campaign again on the Xbox Series S. I recorded every single bit of it, all 5 hours. It was about 5 hours to completion. But, to be completely honest, it was literally exactly 5 hours. I've sat here for 5 hours playing through this. I recorded everything. I was just going to upload the whole thing, but at the very end, you know, I recorded the credits and everything too, and there's like some music, so I'm gonna have to like edit all of that out and like redo the whole freaking thing, just so that I can upload this. But it'll be okay. I'm thinking about uploading the whole freaking thing uncut in 4K so that you guys can see it. No freaking performance issues whatsoever. The game ran fine, and it's a seamless transition like the whole way through. Like you'll go through the cutscene, it'll transition right into fighting, and it'll transition right back out of it. I thought that was super cool. Like that was super cool. Like I'm playing through this, and there's like no loading. There's no loading There's no loading scenes or anything. It just from the moment you start, if you just keep playing, you can play all the way through it. A little bit earlier, I was talking about how Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance and Deception were some of my favorite ones. Well, some of those characters came back. Like Natara, she's back. Havoc's back. Darius is in the story, but he's not playable. There's Rico, General Rico. He was back in it. Asheroth, Li Mei, Tanya. I think Tanya was number 4. Yeah, so I mean, like Tanya was back. Just more of the characters are all coming back, and the way they interweaved this story and this recreation of it, and not having like Liu Kang as like the now having Liu Kang as like the Raiden dude, and you've got like Raiden in the story. Like the way they tied this together was very cool. Like you go through it. I'm not going to spoil any of it. Like, this was freaking cool. And then that ending, man. Oh, my gosh. That was so cool. That was very cool. I love how they pulled that off. There's some secret stuff in there that once you get through this, oh, my gosh, man. This was really freaking cool. There's I don't want to spoil it. Like, I don't want to spoil it. I just want to be able to tell you that, like, man, production values are very, very high. The combat. Okay, let's talk about the fighting, because that's obviously the thing that matters the most. Now, normally when I get Mortal Kombat, when I get these new games, I will play through the story campaign first. I will play through the story campaign, and it'll always like put you in different characters. Like you'll be different characters throughout the whole story campaign, and is what will happen is normally like, because I don't play with a lot of those characters at all. Like, ever. Like, I don't play with any of the other characters. Johnny Cage is my main character. Sub-Zero, Scorpion. That's just... I have, like, this hierarchy of how they go, of what characters I like to play. So, you'll notice, I noticed that, like, when I get to my specific characters, I'm doing really good. In, like, older games, I would do really good with those characters. But then with the other characters, I would kind of struggle because I wouldn't know their moveset. I wouldn't know a whole lot about them. This game is the most fluid freaking fighting game I've ever played. From the very beginning, when you start the campaign, the combat just flows so nicely with every character that you can get in there and you can start figuring this out pretty quickly. All of the moves feel good. All of the I did not struggle with one character. Not one of them. I was able to play through the whole game without struggling, without getting frustrated. I usually play through it on medium difficulty just because of that reason. Because when I do get to some of those things that like I'll struggle with, not knowing how to fight with them. So I feel like medium, was usually is a good way to like see just how much I'm going to be able to do with this. I got through the whole game on medium. I only died twice. I only lost 2 matches out of that whole time. I beat every single one of them. So I was like, wow, this one feels really good. The characters, the combos, the way they're created. I feel like there's a lot of depth in the overall game. I did check out the invasions. I did check out the Jean-Claude Van Damme skin. Very, very cool. That was like the one reason that I was like, yeah, dude. I usually do buy these day one. The last one is the first one that I bought, like the $100 version was Mortal Kombat 11, and then this one right here I bought the $110 version or whatever. If Jean-Claude Van Damme wouldn't have had a skin in here for Johnny Cage, I cannot tell you that I would have bought this day one. I might have, but that was like the big selling point because, I mean, after 30 years of Mortal Kombat, and then when they started talking about like redoing like the timeline and everything and going back and like rebooting it, I just thought, oh my gosh, man, are we really doing this? And then I'm not even gonna lie, man, I didn't think this was gonna turn out as good as it did. I did not think this was gonna turn out as good as it did. This is by far my favorite Mortal Kombat that I've ever played, and the overall story for this game, not only does it create new lore, but it respects the old lore. It brings a lot of that old lore forward while cutting out the silly stuff, a lot of the silly stuff, and filling it with this over, like, there were times in this campaign that I was like truly shocked. I was like, wow, did that really just happen? And I'm thinking, I'm like, what the freak is going on here? I mean, 11 was pretty dang good too. 11's story was pretty good, but this right here, the way it's like created and the way it plays out and the way the characters interact with each other, the lines, the dialogue, oh my gosh, man. Even Johnny Cage in his dialogue sections, I mean, like, yeah, he's still the goofball or whatever, but like it was good and it flowed good and it had a really serious tone. I love how they fleshed out the characters in this game. I love how they, like Baraka, man, like Baraka, like he was never somebody that I was actually like, oh my gosh, yeah, I like Baraka. In this game, I was like, wow, dude, like, I really like Baraka now. I'm like, wow, dude, like, playing with Baraka, I was like, dang, man, maybe this character does have some depth. I never looked at Baraka as, Baraka was always just this henchman. But when you play Baraka, and like when you see Baraka's story and you see how that transpired in here, you're like, gosh dang, man, they gave Baraka, like, I was like, really, man? Lee May's story, freaking awesome. What's her name? Tanya's story, freaking awesome. Aseroth, that was freaking cool. That was cool. Katana, Melina, oh my gosh. The way they just brought everybody into this game and made this work with this story, and you could tell that this was like, you could literally tell that Mortal Kombat 1 was a labor of love from the whole team. Like, these guys are incredible. What Ed Boon and his team have created with Mortal Kombat 1 is going to ride high for me for a very long time. Like, I really, really appreciated this, because I'm not even gonna lie, man. Like, Mortal Kombat X, I was ready to walk away then. I was like, man, this is getting dumb. Like, this is just getting so dumb that it's like, and then Mortal Kombat 11 comes out, and that, like, restored my faith. I mean, like, mostly that one was like, the visuals were so good. I was like, wow, this looks incredible. The visuals of Mortal Kombat 1 absolutely blow that out of the water. I was like, wow, I was very impressed with the high production quality of this. But the way that they rebooted Mortal Kombat and retold this story and made it grounded, and like it's almost like Mortal Kombat really is starting all over again. Now, I hope that they can continue with something like this and make it like and make it cool, like, going forward, like with Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 and whatever. But wow, this was a good start. This was a very good start. I feel like if like the younger generation that have never played Mortal Kombat before, like, this is very, very good. Like, I really like this. I think that this one here is absolutely. I was going to stop giving numbers for games, but I'm going to give this Mortal Kombat a 10. The fighting is perfect. Like, it's absolutely perfect. I've never felt Mortal Kombat flow so well ever before. Like, this is the most fluid feeling Mortal Kombat I've ever played. And all characters. That's the thing. Like, that right there really meant a lot to me. The fact that I was able to pick up and learn new characters fairly quickly, and it looked cool. and it, like, okay, so yeah, fighting combat, the one thing that matters the most, very fluid, very fleshed out, very deep, man. I was pulling off moves with characters that, like, I was like, wow. Not one time during my whole playthrough did I jump into the pause menu to look up moves. That's how good it flowed. I didn't have to look up anything. I was able to, push buttons and try different combos and figure things out fairly quickly with a lot of these characters that I was very impressed. A lot of, like Sub-Zero, Johnny Cage, all of those characters, that I used to play a lot. Figured out their moveset really, really nice. Raiden, figuring out his moveset. This was freaking cool. Like, this was very cool in terms of combat. Like, I do honestly believe that was good. So, right there, that's a big one. Overall production quality, very high. Very high. This game looks absolutely beautiful every second you are playing it. That's another thing. The incredible story that this game tells and the way that it recreates Mortal Kombat in a way that's like, wow, this feels freaking fresh. This feels absolutely fresh. I was blown away. Like, okay, so you've seen that. Like, if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, you're watching this. If you've seen that new Mortal Kombat, the new movie, like, this blows that completely out of the water. Now, they did pretty decent with that, but this here completely destroys that. I was like, wow, this was good. This was very good. So, fighting is 100%. Character roster, absolutely incredible. All the characters' moves feel good. Story, freaking awesome. And the overall the overall production quality, yeah, dude, this is easily a 10. Easily a 10 for me. This is my highest rated Mortal Kombat that I've ever played. 100%. I had doubts going into this. I really was kind of like, oh man, I wish they would have went back to 3D. And I still do kind of wish that, but I'm not going to knock points off of this Mortal Kombat for something like that. I really wish that Ed Boon and the team would go back to, or at least consider doing something, with the 3D environment again. I think that would be absolutely incredible. But what they have here for the story modes, absolutely incredible. One more thing that I want to talk about, invasions. Obviously, it's still got like the classic towers, all of that. You can get in there and do that. You can do multiplayer. You can do. You can challenge people all of the online. It will be cross-platform multiplayer pretty soon, but it isn't at launch. But this new invasions mode that they've created. Now I got in here and I checked that out for a few minutes. It's essentially like you'll start at one place and you kind of walk to the next thing. It's almost like a Mario game. You like walk to the one thing and then you'll like do the fight. You'll complete the story. There's a little bit of story content in there. It's almost like they've got rid of the crypt, but they've added in this whole new mode that's going to keep you busy playing this for a long time. There's different realms and stuff that you'll be able to go to. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to play through that, a little bit tomorrow after work, and like really kind of dive deep into there, because you'll be able to unlock stuff through that. You'll be able to get more lore, all of that kind of stuff, just by playing around with the invasions mode. You still unlock everything. I was unlocking a whole bunch of stuff like through the campaign, unlocking a whole bunch of stuff in some classic towers that I was playing around with the Jean-Claude Van Damme skin. And that's another reason too. I've been a Jean-Claude Van Damme fan for a very long time. So having him in this game, absolutely incredible. Voiced by Van Damme, very, very cool. I was like, wow, this is incredible. This is like the cherry on top of the 10 I've already given the game. So, yeah, this was perfect. I do not regret the $117 that I spent to play this 5 days early. This is awesome. So, it's got my seal of approval. If you're into fighting games and you want a high-quality freaking story for Mortal Kombat, this is it. I think this new beginning for Mortal Kombat is absolutely perfect. It is. It's perfect. I can't see any other Mortal Kombat fan playing this and being like, yeah, I don't know. Dude, if people are complaining about this, like whatever. Like, if you complain about, like if they're complaining about anything for this new game, I mean, obviously it's just for the clicksies. Because this is absolutely incredible. So, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will be doing some more of this. I'll put up some fighting videos. I'll put up some other stuff. But yeah, Mortal Kombat 1, absolutely one of the greatest, is the greatest Mortal Kombat I've ever played. So, yeah, we'll see you guys later, man. Thanks.